done a lot of your own individual poetry as well as translations. I'm very happy to see it from Shiv Batalji, who's a personal favorite of mine. And so would you like to talk a bit about that? Who got you started? I mean, she's actually an economics graduate, and what is she doing writing poetry? I mean, this is a bit mysterious, so can you tell us a bit about that?
My father was very fond of Urdu poetry, and we sort of grew up with Ghalib flowing in our veins, and it was a very strong influence. And at that time, you sort of dismiss it, but as you grow older, you find
Your father used to recite Ghalib in the middle of the night.
every time, all day. And at that time, we were running away from him because he overdid it. But after he passed on, I realized what a tremendous legacy we had, in terms of, I now find I love to recite. So it's something and I used to write poetry in college, and I actually, my first piece of writing was a limerick when I was 5 years old. And I'm not sure whether I wrote it or my older brother wrote it.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do.
Why don't you recite it? Let's look at the journey from the liberator to this.
It's actually a very funny story because when I think back on it, I don't think I could have had the vocabulary to write that poem. But it was always passed off as mine, and I must have been the only 6-year-old who knew what a limerick was.
Tell us.
in the sense of a structure.
Okay.
But I was.
I'm sure you must have.
But there was a great glutton called Sam who had 6 tons of ham. To school he had to go, but his stomach said no. So he coaxed it with another ton of jam.
I think that's brilliant for a 5-year-old.
5 or 6. Yeah, I have a feeling when I think back on it, I must have been helped because large sections of my family write. Everybody is very fond of writing, though no one has been so obstinate about it as I have been. But my aunt writes, my brothers write, various nieces and nephews write. Everyone has this fascination for writing. So,
was there a trigger that set you off to actually writing a novel and making the journey from poetry to short stories was what you were trying to do?
Actually, I sort of set off trying to be a novelist. And then I found it very difficult because I chose something which was way too complex and sort of layered for a first novel. So I'm still working on that. I haven't finished it. That's going to come one of these years. And short stories I've always done. I like the form.
Okay.
And poetry one writes on and off, and then there's suddenly a chance to recite it, and I found people were receptive. So I start calling myself poet.
Wonderful. Okay, now